Don't sleep on the ROW. Social still isn't social anymore, and those tokens ain't free. Welcome to the Unlimited Supply Podcast, your daily music business TLDR in your ear, powered by Interest Media, replacing social media, and brought to you by No Disc, helping music technology and finance companies navigate the music industry, and partnered with Digital Music News. It's August 5th, 2026, and I'm Lars Murray. It's Viral Wednesday, but before we go viral, Earnings Palooza marches on. Yesterday, Spotify announced its Q2 2026 results, and most of the recent trends continued. Top-line revenue was up 15% year over year. Most of that growth is coming from the so-called rest of the world. Don't sleep on the rest of the world. Rest of the world, ROW, is so much easier to say than Asia, Latin America, etc. Spotify is starting to lean into that new normal, and it's going to start to milk the cow rather than grow the cow. So the earnings call had a big focus on products, which these days means AI, which presumably the platform will be able to extract more revenue from. More AI, though, also means more costs. You see, those tokens ain't free. Every time you do an AI search, the token clicks on the meter, but we don't really see that because we are in the early Uber stage of AI, where platforms are subsidizing growth with artificially low costs to consumers. So those costs are going to go up, but over time they will come down, and in fact fairly drastically, but they are not reflected in most consumer AI products yet. Spotify announced that it had added Merlin to its array of licensed partners for AI-generated remixes, which have not launched yet. The other trend that stayed constant was Spotify's challenges selling advertising, although, AI again was starting to help out there too. Dylan Smith had all the details over at Digital Music News, and another Earnings Palooza tip of the cap to Ross Walthall over at Cleveland Research for his timely Cliff Notes, which Ross also supplied on Reservoir Media. Why do we cover Reservoir so much? Well, for one, they're public, unlike most of the new old publishers outside of the major labels. Reservoir also continues to grow, but this time it was more slowly than in Q1, with a streaming growth number of 13% versus their 21% in Q1. Excluding new acquisitions, though, that growth rate was 6%, which looks like the new normal. It looks like a business, if not the business. To that end, Reservoir also announced that it was dipping a toe into the frontline label business. It's actually easier to dip a toe in that business than ever before, with formerly costly label infrastructure available to just about anyone. They chose to launch this initiative with UK A&R ace, old friend and colleague Ali Hodge, who is goated for bringing the vaccines in Las Vegas into my life. Seems like a pretty good way to deploy some of that publishing capital. Go get 'em, Ollie. All right, let's get viral. It's not just earnings season for music companies. It's also earnings season for social companies. And on the large side, Meta had their earnings call. We're not going to go too deep into that, other than to say that if recorded music and publishing are a business with growth between 6 and 15% in general, Meta is the business. It grew year over year at a muscular 28%. Of course, one way Meta is like the music industry is that a lot of those profits are being spent on, AI. Even if you own the AI platform itself, there's a lot of expense associated with it. Energy, data centers, water, etc. Those tokens ain't free. Another way Meta's like the music industry is that its growth is also coming in the ROW markets. Don't sleep on the ROW, but here, there, or anywhere, Meta is really good at holding your attention, and Meta is really good at selling ads, unlike Spotify. And better for them, it doesn't even really need you to be social anymore. They just need you scrolling away. If you think that there's relief in sight from scrolling on Meta, well, looking at the Q2 earnings of a couple of secondary social partners doesn't provide a whole lot of relief. Snap is just kind of rolling along, not really growing. Its user base is not really contracting either, but they're trying to figure out, as ever, how to make some real money. Yes, and there's a theme here again. Their biggest growth came in, the rest of the world. India, where it 10x'd its ad revenue. Don't sleep on the ROW. And if Snap won't save us from Meta, maybe Reddit will. Well, probably not. Reddit is my favorite platform. It's the most human of them all. It appeals to my 90s nostalgia for the Usenet, and it did report a lot of growth, but that growth wasn't really sticky user growth. A lot of Reddit's growth came from AI search results and chatbots, which love Reddit for the same reason I do, because Reddit's content tends to be pretty human and pretty accurate, at least relative to other sources. Reddit reported a promising 18% jump in daily active users. Unfortunately, this humanity and accuracy hasn't led to a lot of sticky user growth. It's mostly people coming in from searches. But in a social market where knowing your fans and owning your data is off the table, if you have humanity and accuracy, well, maybe that's got some value too. Because as we've noted so many times, social media ain't really social anymore. As for what's actually viral this week over on TikTok, our viral for the olds is the Boys in the Hood wailing sax impending danger theme. Back in the day, John Singleton, the director of the movie, hired Stanley Clarke to create an original score. Stanley then brought on Kirk Whalum to play the sax. Apparently, they had to watch each scene about 20 to 30 times before finally getting the score to match the scenes. Fast forward 35 years, and you have viral gold. Over on the Insta, Ian McConnell's You Never Take Me to Bangladesh is still going on. It's driving an escalating demands meme starting sincere, ending unhinged, and it's been growing for a few weeks now. And Olivia Rodrigo has two trends going right now. You plus me equals less than 3 has a then and now tribute carousel trend set to her I know everybody changes, but I hope that we don't lyric from the song. And another lyric, Spark in the Dark from the Stupid song, is driving another nostalgic format. Our viral correspondent Lydia Valentino is with us this week. What do you got, Lydia?
Hey Lars, we're circling back on a previous entry. I had suspected that Rubber's the synth pop cut by Phoenix Flexen and Perps on the Beat, which has since reached number 58 on the Hot 100, of being AI generated. Lo and behold, producer Medicine has revealed the smoking gun, revealing that the song was made entirely in Treblo, formerly known as Sonato, with the program's name being changed days before the song's release. And Phoenix is not the only one who's been caught. Tyga, who like Phoenix Flexen is also signed to Empire, released the similarly 80s-esque project Starface last week, and when Medicine tested if that was AI, it came back positive. Treblo even published a Was This Made With Treblo detector, which has whacked all of the aforementioned tracks. Credit to Marcus Lawrence from Zinstrol for being the first on this story back in June, and Wired's Dexter Thomas for more on the story.
Thank you, Lydia. You can check out Lydia's V30 playlist on YouTube. There is a link in the show notes. And that's another Viral Wednesday. Support for Unlimited Supply is provided by you, our listeners. Sign up for a full year of support of us, and you'll get a full year's membership at a 20% discount. You'll also get the Unlimited Supply Merit Badge trucker hat, which is adorning the heads of stylish and sophisticated music industry insiders everywhere. It's all available at our online store, and there's a link in the show notes. If you like what you hear, go buy a hat, or at least please hit the follow button wherever you get your pods. I live for your praise and encouragement in person, but it helps a lot more if you drop us a rating and or a review on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or Spotify, and tell a friend or three, or even better yet, follow us on Substack now. Links are in the show notes, but you can also visit unlimitedsupplypod.com to sign up for our newsletter, to tell us what you think about the show, to suggest feature ideas, to feed us info, to feed us lunch, to call us out on our dubious assertions, and to tell us what we're missing out on. I'm Lars Murray, and remember, in this business, no conflict means no interest.